Welcome back, everybody. It's been a minute. I have a life. Thank you for waiting. And thank you for the new subs. And thank you to all the motherfucking hater-ass bitches that spend their time trying to comment on my shit instead of just working on themselves and looking into the things that me and other YouTubers that call these fucking assholes out online. So thank you. We're going to look at Bryan Callen. He's on the Rick Glassman podcast here. And it seems like Rick Glassman just kind of destroys him. And Bryan Callen has been in a humiliation ritual of sorts last few months, ever since all the, sexual abuse allegations, the failed stand-up comedy special that he had, that he acknowledged that was a failed special on the Fighter and the Kid podcast. It's just really fun. Right now they're going to talk about relationships, which Bryan Callen failed at and kind of got destroyed. His ex-wife got his $1 million house, or I should say $2.8 million house. And it's funny because he's going to bring it back into Joe Rogan somehow. He's going to dick ride Joe Rogan. Let's take a look.
She doesn't want to have sex with him anymore. Yes. And the marriage goes away.
It's like a man who feels like, he doesn't want to be with a woman who's just, not that it isn't her right, but he doesn't want to commit to a woman who's just sleeping with tons of partners all the time, and she's a bit of a fucking coos, right? Yeah. And then she becomes this maternal, making stew and doing these things. I'm not attracted to this fucking tub of shit anymore. Where's my fucking slut?
Where's my chew toy?
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Now, that's the problem. And a lot of guys.
And that's what's funny is the guy with sexual abuse allegations looks at women like a chew toy, and it's telling the truth without telling the truth. It's a mask off moment. It's the things that you say without thinking. He was getting played into talking like this because he's the guy that even his friend, Whitney Cummings, has a story where she's detailing that she gave him a ride to his car after a show, and he whips his dick out in the passenger seat. Yeah. Pretty crazy. Look it up.
Guys come in with a culture. Their culture.
Crazy.
The culture is like, your wife has to be this pure virginal human, which I don't believe in.
Madonna complex.
That bullshit. But at the end of the day, you want a whore.
Also, it's kind of funny seeing the guy who himself and his friends have all said lots of pedo shit and engaged in pedo shit say stuff like this, because I've never once gone, oh, I need a virgin. You're telling me I got to teach this person everything they're gonna know about sex? I don't need that. I prefer people who are experienced and have lived their life just like I have. And for him to say that is kind of weird, because what kind of person are typically virgins? Very young people. And what happens when you're with very young people when you're old? There's a very imbalanced power dynamic where what we've seen with many older people that date young people, they try to act like they own them, hence the chew toy.
Right? And so you're not going to marry a whore.
A lady in the streets, but a freak in the bed. Ludicrous.
All that bullshit, right?
Use a hoe.
The biggest problem is that you're already into a relationship. You're entering into a relationship with it's all a lie.
You know what the problem is?
That's a human being.
You know what the problem is? We're not entering the relationship. Our subconscious is. And the problem isn't that we didn't get to know our wife or our husband. The problem is we didn't get to understand the way we see the world. And that's why I believe in this. You can't love somebody else until you love yourself. But that's not just some foo-foo shit. It's because you can't love yourself until you understand yourself. We need intent.
And that is truth. Bryan Callen and all of Bryan Callen's friends do not understand this, because Bryan Callen and all of Bryan Callen's friends are all self-entitled pieces of shit that most of them have sexual abuse allegations, and some of them even have pedophilic allegations and have said pedophilic shit. As we now know, Joe Rogan has a clip circulating around the internet of him on that very old show, The Man Show, talking about, loving that old Tracy Lords video. And for people who don't know what I'm talking about, back in the 80s, Tracy Lords, she's an actress. She was at 16 doing pornographic material filmed by grown-ass men, and it was distributed to Americans and many people. People understand that it's wrong, that they didn't know at the time. Doesn't make it any better. But Joe Rogan in the early 2000s knew that and said that it's okay and that he watched it and he liked it.
Tension, and without it, we're just fucking animals riding blind.
How do you get to know? How do you get to understand yourself?
Asking questions all the time.
Why is a grown-ass 60-year-old man asking that? You would think, well, I guess because he's been trying to be Mr. Comedian, cool guy, celebrity that doesn't realize he's just a glorified extra everywhere he goes. Never took the time to learn this shit for himself. And it's kind of sad that he's asking somebody a fraction of his age.
Why do I feel that way? Without having the pressure,
He looks like he's gonna
needing
cry.
to be able to zoom in close enough, but to know, ooh, why am I even asking the question, buddy? I say it all the time. Answers are easy, questions are hard.
The great Joe Rogan said something to me one time I never forget.
There it is, the great Joe Rogan. His best friend that shits on him every chance he gets and treats him like a little puppy dog on a chain.
Joe Rogan from the podcast guy.
The guy who's a podcaster.
It's amazing how he's treating it like he doesn't know who he is, because Joe Rogan isn't anybody to anybody who's not over the age of 30, really, or maybe 28, because Joe Rogan hasn't really been a comedian active in over 10 years. He had a really bad special that he said he was working on a long time for, where 10 to 15 minutes out of that special, he was stealing jokes from Brendan Schwab, whatever, dude. Somebody who he convinced not to do comedy and also not to do MMA. So it's kind of like he convinced him just so that he could take his shitty jokes.
Yeah, he's huge. He's huge.
He's a comic. He's a podcaster. He's a martial artist.
He's a martial artist and a hunter. He's a martial artist and a hunter. I've never seen Joe Rogan fight. You might practice martial arts. That doesn't make you a martial artist. That makes you a guy who practiced martial arts. That's like saying, oh, I bought a guitar and I played Wonderwall and I know 3 songs. I'm not going to go and call myself a musician. No, because a musician implies that you are a working musician, that you're in a band, and you get paid to play gigs. Joe Rogan does not do that. He kicks a bag, and as anybody who knows that has trained any martial arts or stepped foot in a gym to learn the craft, I did in my 20s, the bag don't hit back, brother. The bag does not hit back.
Great Joe Rogan, yes. I'll hip you.
This
to
guy
his
looks
podcast.
flabbergasted.
I'm familiar with it.
And he said to me one time,
Could you do it in his voice?
No, I'm not good at the Joe Rogan impression, even though I know him so well.
You've known him for 35 years. You can do a Joe Rogan impression. You just don't want to because you're scared you're not going to be able to be in the mothership, and you're scared that you're not going to be invited back to his stupid ass podcast where he pushes the same 12 big CIA asset talking points straight down from the top, buddy.
I've known him 30 years.
Could you do it in his energy?
He said he's more alpha than me. He's a hunter.
In that order?
The great Joe Rogan, yes.
The great Joe Rogan. God, you just gotta dick ride him when you talk about him, because this truly is a cult, isn't it? It's a cult. You're all a part of it, and you all gotta push him up because Daddy Donald Trump says you have to, and the people that give him the orders straight from the CIA desk with all the talking points and all the anti-California and all the anti-vegetable and all the anti-anything says you're not allowed to speak bad and you're not allowed to deviate from the script, my friend.
I'll hip you to his podcast. It's called the JRA.
I'm familiar with it.
And he said to me one time,
could you do it in his voice?
No, I'm not good at the Joe Rogan impression, even though I know him so well.
You can do it. I believe in you. You're a Hollywood extra, Bryan Callen. You can do anything you put your mind to as long as it's in the background where you belong.
30 years.
Could you do it in his energy?
He said.
Also, this is the Joe Rogan energy he's talking about. Well, yeah, I mean, like, you see what they've done with California. You can't even buy a gun because if you buy a gun in California, they're going to turn you gay. And you can't go grocery shopping if you have a gun in California or Canada. You know what's really bad? is California. That's Joe Rogan's energy.
He's more alpha than me.
He's more alpha. Why would you ever say that about another man? This is why women don't respect you and you feel like you need to sexually abuse them, because you just light yourself on fire in front of everybody. And you even have your head down, looking down, like you know you're just swallowing and gobbling up his fat fucking pig hog.
He said,
Here it is.
He was talking about relationships. And he said, I don't have any interest in ever controlling anybody's behavior that I'm in a relationship
Wait.
with. I don't want to, I won't.
That's very interesting, because there's a very famous clip of you guys getting into it where he is definitely trying to control your behavior. Wait a second. I think I have it right here.
Go down the road wrong. You need to bail on the tetanus thing, because Suzanne Humphreys.
Educate his ass.
Suzanne Humphreys explained tetanus.
She's not a vaccinologist. I know that woman. What are you talking about? So you're saying we
She's a
shouldn't have
medical
vaccines?
doctor that absolutely understands tetanus. She said tetanus, all you have to do is keep the wound open and clean it.
Oh, that's
you
such
don't,
bullshit.
It's not
Oh my
bullshit.
God,
It's
what
not bullshit. Do you know how many people die of tetanus
Holy
every year?
fucking
Very
shit.
few. What about
Okay,
stop.
so let me ask you a question, Mr. Joe Rogan, Mr. Scientist. Are you
Mr.
saying
Don't.
Mr. Joe Rogan, Mr. Scientist. That's actually a pretty good impersonation of him right there, because he is Mr. Tall, Mr. Cool, Mr. Very Strong, Mr. Very Smart.
Autism is just one.
vaccines? And I think any
Autism is just one. There's a lot of other autoimmune issues. There's a lot of like serious problems.
I think there are three things that have pushed us beyond our biology, and the reason we don't have a lot of children dying: nutrition, sanitation, and vaccines. And I think
I hate that he's making me agree with him, but it's only because he's surrounded by people that are equally or more dumb than him. It's not an accomplishment for him to have one hater or person with a brain agree with him. That's like saying water is wet, fire is hot, the sky is blue, and the sky is also sometimes gray and dark sometimes.
I think anybody who says otherwise is, I think it's crazy.
But you can't say all vaccines be.
I didn't say all vaccines.
But
I get
he's
very,
not saying
I get
all
very
vaccines.
worried when
but
people
he's not
start
saying all
saying
vaccines.
it sounds like he is.
Brian, you don't know what the fuck I'm saying. You don't.
Well, I know because you don't want to talk about it.
Brian, I don't want to talk about it in the middle of a podcast because it'll completely.
Why is it that whenever somebody disagrees with Joe Rogan and, says some common sense shit, he can't look him in the eye? Even if he doesn't respect them, like he doesn't clearly respect Bryan Callen. He doesn't think Bryan is somebody that really has high value. And he treats him like he's a dog on a leash, like he's a little yap dog. And he's got his little bowl right at the end of the table. And every time Bryan's not on goddamn camera, he's out there drinking from the bowl.
Derail the podcast, and I'll start showing you statistics. If you look at when people.
By the way, this is about 4 minutes into this argument. I had to fast forward. You could have already had these statistics up. And if you had real peer-reviewed being the choice words, because it has to be peer-reviewed to make sense and be valid. Other scientists have had to look at your results and say, yes, we agree that this is right. And it's not some little social club that these scientists are in. It's people who devoted their lives to science and agree because it's just correct.
Who wants to do some smelling salts?
Okai's good. This guy's good.
Okai.
Who wants to do some smelling salts?
Chuck one over here, Jamie. We got some? Here we go.
Where's Okai from?
From your mother's pussy.
Wow, Joe Rogan's very upset about this. He had to walk away and throw the fucking headphones down. Go straight to the smelling salts, buddy.
Hey, that's out of line. Hey, that burn is too far.
Anyway.
Will never try to control your behavior. Whether it's his wife, whether it's his girlfriend, whatever it was,
But if it's you, buddy, it's okay.
And I never forgot that. I went, wow, that takes a lot of pressure off. Like, I don't want to control your behavior. And I took that with me. Like, whether it's my wife or I never would try to control her behavior. I'm not going to I don't want her to lie to me. I don't want her to present a character, like a virginal character, an automaton, like a woman who treats my masculinity as if it's some kind of like Fabergé egg.
What's
Get
an
the
automaton?
fuck out of here.
Kind of like your buddy Joe did during that little argument. He put your masculinity on a pedestal and made you shut up. And then he walked away and made a little baby gloves comments. Oh, it's in your mom's pussy. Wow, dude. People were saying that in 3rd grade.
An automaton is like just almost like a robot who does your bidding. All of that's a lie. These men, so the manosphere that wants a woman who's gonna make you a sandwich and shut the fuck up, all that stuff, you don't know what you're talking about.
Brother, that's you and your friends. That is you and your friends. The people that you work with, the people that you do podcasts with, the people that you suck up to, you sycophantic bitch. Jesus Christ, dude. Talk about no self-reflection.
That's not what you want, and here's why you don't want it. First of all, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. The virgin you're looking for doesn't exist. The woman who's pure of heart doesn't exist.
Again, looking for a virgin, unless you yourself were a virgin, or of regular age where people are virgins. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. You need help, buddy. If any of you watching this are that kind of person, you need help.
She's a human being she's a spectrum. She's got a sinner and a saint in her and everything else in between. Because so do you, you fucking idiot, okay? Second of all, here's the other problem. Yeah, I'm treating you like you're one. But that whole relationship's a lie, and you don't want it because as you get older, you realize that shit will get hard in your life no matter who you are. You will be faced with major challenges, and you don't want to go through that shit alone. You want to be able to look to a partner and be like, hey, I don't know what to do here. I might need you. And you want somebody who's strong and intelligent. You want somebody.
If you're telling your partner you might need them, buddy, you don't have a partner. You have an acquaintance. A partner is somebody that you're fully committed to, not just in love, but in life, like a life partner. You guys consult each other with decisions. You guys compromise. You guys care enough about each other to meet each other's needs and listen to them. Not, oh, I'll keep you in my back pocket because I'm a 6-year-old man with rape allegations and my friends fucking hate me. And every time I go on a goddamn podcast, I just get humiliated.
Somebody who's been through some shit. And you're not your past. Oh, that's the other thing. You ain't your body count.
Buddy, you kinda are your past because your experiences in life shape you. I'm not saying you'll never move on from things that happen, but you learn if you're smart and you pay attention. You learn and you grow. So in mostly, always, you are your past, you stupid fucking bitch.
Hello? $1 million? Call me when you're serious. Sorry.
What was that for?
It was for me. That's how I start every negotiation.
That's a very weird way to change subject, and that's a very weird thing to do in general. You're in the middle of a conversation and you are equating partners and where you are in life to like miming $1 million phone call that you're never going to get, by the way, and you never have gotten.
Well, I'm saying, what was it negotiating for?
They want me to fucking do an appearance.
For $1 million? What's the appearance?
It's like a big thing in Dubai.
That big breath he just took is the tell. He's fucking lying. He's trying to inflate his self-worth because he knows he's on a podcast where he's getting fucking dogged. And I'm here for it, man.
Why'd you do that? Anyway,
I was on a.
I was on a rant.
You go ahead.
You should have music. You should overlay music when I start dropping crazy pearls
Buddy,
of
you
wisdom.
must not watch my podcast.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Because we always put music under when people drop pearls of wisdom.
Good.
And we actually play Oasis's Pearls of Wisdom.
Good. It's my favorite song.
No, it's not.
Wisdom, pearls of wisdom. That's what you have to get out of life, you know.
You know, pearls aren't created within a clam.
That was really fucking cringy, man. Bryan Callen is going to end up checking himself into a fucking psych ward pretty soon. Somebody should do, honestly, a mental health check on him. Anytime he's not on camera, just call him up. Someone's got to send a fucking social worker to this guy. Anyway, fuck Bryan Callen, fuck Joe Rogan, and fuck all the people that are going to be in my comments talking about, oh, I fucking love these dudes. I'm a fucking dumbass bitch, and I've never gotten fucking laid, and I'm an incel, and how dare you shit on my fucking dads. Anyway, have a good rest of your day.